Are you excited?
I am very excited.
Right, let's go. Oh, sorry.
Will you look back when you're old and grey and think those dumb kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember? I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away.
It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. And when is the last time I said that? I don't know. You've always shipped in. But without further ado, because I think we're probably going to have a lot to talk about, is an old friend of mine from about 10 years ago, and we met him at opening weekend by accident for the curse. So I'm going to go through everyone's comments as they come. But without further ado, it's Chandler Whittle. How you doing, Chandler?
Hey, Chandler.
Oh, hang on. There we go. Now we can hear you.
Oh, there you go.
Right, oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wait to say hello twice.
You can do if you want.
Hello, everybody again.
Right, we're gonna go through a lot of stuff, but because this is off tangent, I want to do it first. I came across this today on Facebook, and I was going to ask you what you thought about it. Fantasy Island were open today.
I mean,
but they said you couldn't get access from a particular side. They didn't say why. They just said the police. It was a sensitive incident. As you can see, someone's commented there that there was a forensic tent. Apparently, someone's been. According to the other comments, which I'm not going to show, apparently someone's been murdered outside the spa.
they actually died then.
That's what people were saying. You know, when people were commenting, but there's definitely a forensic tent there. From what everyone's saying, that's the only thing that's been repeated over and over again.
Probably wasn't the best idea to keep the park open, but
that's what I thought. The only thing I kind of related to was someone put a comment about, well, if people are paid to go once a year and you know they've gone all that way, then it should still be open. But I thought we'd start with that because you can only go up from how morbid that is.
But
we'll start at the bottom and then we'll work our way up to the positivity.
yeah.
I thought it's kind of crazy they kept the park open, but then again, like you said, it's business, so it's two things. If they had second access to another area, I don't know, but I've not been to Fantasy Island, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
What, you never been?
No, I've never been. There's a lot of UK parks I've not been to. I bet you could name about 10, and I've probably been to about 3 of them. I've been to Merlin and a few independent ones, but no big like independent ones. I've not been to Oakwood. I've not been to Fantasy Island. I've been to Southend. What's one? I don't know what that one's called. What's called?
Venture Island.
Venture Island. I've not been to that one.
Yeah.
The thing about Fantasy Island, and it's probably going to get bombarded now with people watching the show, if you get in touch and ask to film at the park, they'll then say, yeah, we're happy for that. Come to our office and get a GoPro checked or whatever and give you a wristband. And then you go onto their email list and you get invited for their Halloween event and everything, even if you're not a very big channel, which is quite good.
That, then regardless, you get your press events in.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And they're like gold to the people in the community, so...
Before we get into any other chat, because I know you're kind of you want to see what I put in the highlights. I've gone on your channel, which is in the description, and I've found a few highlights, but these are quite old videos as well. There might be a tiny bit of swearing in places. I can't remember.
Probably
it's
a
not
bit
major.
If you watch my channel, you know that I swear. It's something I don't know why I do. It just comes.
But we'll take a look at these highlights.
We just come up Olympia looping. Oh my god, it was literally the most intense thing I've ever done. It was so sick, so insane. This geezer knows. It was so good.
Friday night 2013/14, and Mama's something to say.
That house ain't working.
These people think that Chandler works here. He's taking a photo on his actual personal camera.
Chandler's just been taking pictures. Somebody came up to him because they think he's working here, and so they've got him to take a picture of all of their cows for their birthday. He can sell that photo for a lot of money.
There's the photo Chandler got. How are you going to get the photo to him, Chandler?
They've just given me their Facebook. That house ain't working! Once again, we changed the ride. We're not going on Saw, come on to Loggers League. This, I don't really know much about it, but it better close it at 5. What the
I don't know where you want to start on any of that stuff, Chandler. Or
just watching that through is crazy. It's how much like it's changed over the years.
shall we start? Because I think some people I know now have heard it from James and other things. I don't know if you want to start
James and that as well
with the Bauhaus ain't working thing. So I don't know if you want to tell
How do you
people
even
about.
explain that. How do you even explain that? And where it even come from?
That came from something I heard Carl Pilkington say when he couldn't get
Yeah,
Bauhaus as a music group and he couldn't get them to play on the radio.
I just remember some of us yelling it because it was my first time like in scare mazes as well. So every time we do something and then something breaks down, I go, Bauhaus ain't working. And I still do it now. So
yeah. I think it was one of Kieran's friends. We were pranking one of them, Kieran's school friends, and when he came with us, and he genuinely believed that he was like screaming it at them. And for some reason, that was actually making him more angry.
I heard like people slam against the wall somewhere else in the maze. Go, Bauhaus ain't working. We're literally, for everyone at home, we convinced a load of Chandler's friends that it was the safe words at Fright Nights. So if you shouted at the actors, they knew not to bother you. So
they were literally screaming it. And like I said, it was sort of making them want to get them more, which was funny. But yeah, it's just, and we thought, oh, that should be one thing in the night. But then it just went on, and we just kept saying it. And like my mum got involved with it. Everyone loved it.
That was really cool when you did the clip with your mum. I thought.
We just got a couple of things from people at the minute. So Olympia looping is intense from Ben and Holly. Good evening, everyone, by the way. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just going through the comments. And the king of theme park YouTube is returning from theme parks all over.
Don't put me on.
I assume he's referring to you. Shall we talk about, because this is crazy, because we, on my old channel from about 10 years ago, and you had your stuff then as well. Yeah. And then we kind of just, we didn't fall out or anything. We just, everyone kind of went their own way. We were at opening day for The Curse, and then we went with Ginger and Brown to the Alton Towers bar at the hotel for a couple of drinks before we went home. And I just hear from behind me, it's like it's Stacey and Mike, or Mike and Stacey. Anyone who's watched the show before knows in a crowded place, if you say my name, I'll wait 2 or 3 times in case it's not.
Just in case it's the wrong mic.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have said MYK.
But because you said Stacey's name as well, we turned around straight away, and it was just insane to see you. And it's like, oh,
we just out of things. Obviously, we've had like exchanges now and then over the years, but it's like, oh yeah, we'll probably meet up somewhere. It never happened. It was just like there in the Alton Towers bar out of everyone on Curse opening day. And I wasn't even on part that day. I went for the drink before, and we were going on part the next day.
What did you think of The Curse? Because you went on it the next day, didn't you?
I prefer it to Jewel, and I know a lot of people are gonna like crucify you for that, but like I really like The Curse. And apparently on opening weekend there were some effects that weren't even working, and I thought it was good as it was, so it was interesting to see what else there could be, because I've only done it once. We went to do it a second time and it broke down. So but yeah, I think it's really good. Say again?
I've only done it once.
No, I only got to do it once. We did it once as soon as we got there, and then we thought we're going to go back, and then it broke down, and then they evacuated everyone out the queue, so we couldn't even get a chance to do it.
Because you went to the pop-up event with Austin from Thrill Nation as well.
Yes, yeah, I was lucky enough. Austin invited me with his brand Thrill Nation to go to the pop-up event. So, and that was going to that and like seeing how they developed into it. It wasn't what when I was at the event I thought it'd be exactly the sort of like what they were going to give you, but it wasn't. Especially like did you remember they released them teaser pictures like a week before?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
And when I saw them compared to the pop-up event, I was like, this is going to be nothing like it. And I actually, my hopes were so high, and then it went.
Did those photos dash your hopes a bit?
Say again, sorry?
Did those photos dash your hopes a bit when you saw them?
Yeah, so I mean, because I went to the pop-up event, and when I went to the pop-up event, I was like, the size of it, it was literally a tiny, like, room. I would say it was about 3 meters by 4 meters. It wasn't big at all for this pop-up event. and it had like, it was split into 4 sections, and you walked into like a sort of like dining room thing, then through a fireplace into sort of like this like demonic room with all like these things wrote on the wall, and then you came out into like the sort of like lounge area. But the way they did it made it seem like so sadistic and cursed, and it was just like it felt like that this is gonna be scary.
Yeah.
And then the week before they released them pictures of something that you see in Gangster Granny or something.
Yeah.
I looked and I was like, oh no, they've literally hyped us up for it. But then obviously seeing the rest of the ride, I'd say it lived up to it to an aspect, but obviously apparently there's effects I've missed, so we'll have to see as it goes on and ride it again.
Did you watch the whole pre-show as well at the beginning?
I might have done. I did stop, and I did, like, obviously it goes with all the what's it like, all like the Satanist symbols and stuff, and like the help and like all them sort of things. So I saw that, and I did listen to some of it, but whether I caught all of it or I don't know, because it was sort of like we're stood there trying to watch it, and everyone like behind just trying to push you to hurry up.
Yeah.
So it's not one of them pre-shows where you get to experience like Wicker Man, where it's timed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, it's something that we've picked on through the show through some of our previous guests that have said that the pre-show's a little bit, you know,
it's not timed well.
Move along a little bit, you know, keep moving along.
I hope that they would actually incorporate that to be part of the ride experience, where you do get to walk in there. They line people up around the whole barrier, and like sort of, and like, you know, as you walk into the house and they keep the main queue outside, and it's sort of like time going in, sort of as they do with Wicker Man, and you could actually experience it. Because a lot of people might go into it and not really understanding the backstory of it, Emily Alton and everything to do with it.
Yeah, definitely.
So it would be good if they did that, but
so it would.
Merlin never been to us.
Ben only went on Sunday and they said there's new effects, but they're probably not going to be allowed to tell us what they are.
Yeah.
And new audio in the queue line. I don't think they need any more audio, but what did you? I'm assuming the extended queue line was still open on the Sunday. I assume it was really busy still.
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, we went on the second time. It was pretty much walk on. We were just sort of just into the doorway, and then people were moving slowly, and then all of a sudden, within 2 minutes being there, all the house lights come on, and then it was like, oh, we'll wait 10 minutes, and then within 2 minutes they were back running around the queue, so I didn't really get to see much. But
what did you think of the Easter eggs in the queue? Do you remember them?
I'm trying to think now. Obviously, I saw something like you got John Wardy was involved in one of them, and I liked the Easter eggs on the actual ride. We see like Corkscrew and Ugland and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that was quite clever, how they've actually like tried to preserve like some of the history and stuff into it. But in terms of the ride, I'm much happier than what we've had before. So like I said, I'm going to ride it a few more times. You can't judge it on one ride, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, we only got on it.
We were lucky enough.
We only got on it 5 times, and we had
4 times.
We had fast track, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
I don't know if we would have even gotten it twice.
I always say, with like dark rides and things like that, I feel like you've got to ride them a lot of times, because you can only look at a certain thing or how fast you're going past things. So you've got to look in every direction when you're going.
Did you see the mirror?
Which part was that?
Were you sat on the left or the right?
I was on the left. No, wasn't the right? Actually, I don't even remember. What's going on?
When you saw Emily at the fireplace, it then turns to the. I'm trying to remember now. It then turns to the left, and then obviously you get the massive mirrors. Then don't
got the mirrors down one side
so
on
the
your right.
shadow comes behind her on the fireplace,
and like the second or third mirror.
Is that
for a few mirrors, it's actually a window, and you see her in the car.
Is it like where's the mannequins of her is?
It's if you were on the left, the mannequin would have popped out. It was just before that.
Yeah, I think I remember. One bit I vividly remember is when you at the beginning of the run, when you're going down sort of like the dining room, and it's got like her like down the hallway, and she gets like zapped away or whatever.
Yeah.
At the beginning, but yeah, before the ride, I wasn't really sure what they were going to do. I was like, what are they actually going to do? Because a haunted house is a haunted house, things jump out at you and stuff. But like, I did like the way it's sort of like following through, and then you enter into the dollhouse, and that end scene. The only one thing is, I think the end scene could be a bit more like dramatic.
Yeah. Because
I feel like some of the timing is off with the audio, and like she screams at you or whatever with like, she's always got that massive.
It's an impressive set piece though.
Yeah, it's the whole. I think that what they've done is impressive, but I think there's a lot of things that could be done as well. Like as an enthusiast, we always look at things like, I do that differently, I do this differently. Did
you welcome the return of the Trumbull Tunnel?
Yes. In fact, the people I was with would tell you, I was like, Trumbull. I did say if they didn't do that after the money they put into it, but I know that was a hefty fix. But that's why they never really did it with Jewel. But maybe because they had this in mind that it's going to be done in time. So.
Yeah.
Are you a big merch guy or?
Used to be years ago. I'm actually in the process of selling all my merch.
You can advertise it to the audience.
Or maybe try and sell some to like Dan from Ginger and Brown or something like
Have you got any pin badges?
No, I don't do pin badges.
Oh,
Never done pin badges.
No, I kind of thought of them as like Pokemon cards for adults.
I've got 2 bits of merch over there. I've got a Stealth and a Wicker Man resin, but that's all I've kept out. But I've got quite a lot of other stuff up in the loft and stuff that I'm going through selling at some point. I've sold quite a bit of it over time. I know people are interested, but certain things I go through. So, do I want to get rid of that? Do I not want to get rid of that?
You have to do a video on your channel.
Yeah.
All the stuff you're getting rid of.
Yeah, I should. I went through, started selling it on Facebook, and I said to people, like, I really can't be bothered to list it all. So I reckon I have about 1,000 pieces of merch.
Tell me what you're after. I'll tell you if I've got it.
So I think in the end, I actually just screenshotted my camera of all the pictures and said, if you want something, zoom in, see if you like it or not.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool to see what.
There's a lot of things, so maybe at some point I'll be able to plug it somewhere properly, because I started doing it last year and then I never really got back into it. But there's still a lot of things up there, a lot of unique things as well that years ago I'd go on eBay and I'd look for and I'd buy. Like I think there's one thing I won't be selling, but I had a 1998 like Dollywood like brochure for when you go to the
I haven't even got into that. I've got that on my notes.
Oh, we're going to talk about Dolly, are we?
Yeah. This was a thing that when I first met you, I thought people were joking, but you actually... Are you still...
You actually thought it was a joke?
Well, yeah, because for young people to be into Dolly Parton...
like, oh, he's a massive Dolly Parton fan, and a lot of people say that. A lot of my...
He's still a big fan now?
Yeah, I'd still say she's my favourite like artist and stuff, but I don't listen to her as much as I used to and stuff. Like I guess she'd always sort of be my guilty pleasure sort of thing.
You wouldn't go around in the Beamer with the windows down.
Jolly.
Well, do you know what? I don't care. I'm big on musicals now. I love musicals. Like,
yeah.
What I head to all the time. I absolutely love my musicals and stuff. But I'd happily play Dolly. I've nothing to be ashamed of about it.
What's your favourite song?
Awesome.
Favorite song with Dolly Parton?
I thought you'd be straight there.
I'll say something and then people will be like, huh? Because it's not one of the typical ones.
I don't know. What's everyone's favourite Dolly Parton song at home?
I'd say, well, everyone loves Jolene and 9 to 5, don't they? That's what people.
I don't remember what other ones she did. She probably did other ones I know about, but I wouldn't think.
Yeah, she done a lot of covers as well. Islands in the Stream is another favourite. Yeah. And
was that a cover, or did she originally do that with Kenny Rogers?
I think she originally did that one. Yeah, she did originally do one, Kenny Rogers, and then there's also another one like "Here You Come Again."
Yeah.
And then she did a lot of covers like "Great Balls of Fire" and things like that. And
have you got a favourite?
If I'm going, my favourite is actually called "Home," but no one knew that because that was one.
Everyone's going to look it up after the show, I think.
Literally, everyone's looking up. But I think Dolly Parton's a very, very fitting favourite artist to have if you're into theme parks, because what other artist has their own theme park?
Yeah.
Well, Disney do musicals, don't they?
Whatever artist though. Yeah,
I've been to Bobby Jean Land in Belgium. He was a country singer.
Is that related?
Well, he's a country singer. He's got his own park in Belgium, Bobby Jean Land.
Does he actually have his own park?
Yeah, Bobby Jean Land. Yeah, it's quite a big. I'd say it's my favourite park in Belgium.
I did not know that. Did you guys in the comments?
I hope other people knew. I knew about that because I know I pronounce it wrong, but.
Just to let you know, guys, in the comments, you're quite happy to chat to each other. But obviously, if you've got any questions for Chandler as well, get them up there, and we'll get them answered for you as well. So, like.
Are you allowed to tell us what's coming on your YouTube channel return? Because your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, it's not top secret. It's just I've just got a lot of things that I haven't bothered with the past year and a half that I need to actually bother with if I want to put my current stuff out. So.
Are you trying to keep to one genre this time, or?
No, it's literally just like life vlogs of just what I do and everything, but obviously theme parks are a big part of my life as well, so it has a lot of theme parks involved in it, but a lot of it's my traveling. It's just a bit of everything. So like when I've gone to concerts, I always try to carry my camera with me now, so if I'm doing something interesting I will film it.
Yeah, I was going to say because I kept filming while you've been gone off YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, I reckon I've got about 8-9 vlogs worth to put out of content, and then hopefully by the time I've done that I can actually, get to where I currently am. My aim was like, okay, I'm going to put something out every week, and then eventually, at some point, I'll be in line with actually releasing things current. Because the first vlog I released, I look nothing like this.
Polton's vlog. Have you been to Polton's Park?
I did go to Polton's Park that week, but I didn't vlog. I wanted to go see, because I hadn't been to Tornado Springs yet, and that was like the first time I've been to Tornado Springs.
Wow.
What did you think?
I really liked it. I say it's one of the best themed areas in the UK. I think it was really, really good. And when I think is it Storm Chaser, the big coaster? Yeah. Like the cue theme of that. It was like you could possibly be in Disney or Universal. It's like you don't see Merlin doing anything like that anymore.
Because you've not to kind of use it as a pun, but you kind of stayed in the loop because you're kind of friends with people like
exactly. I've never fully walked away from it, but I definitely took a back step as in being like, is it if I was being like a theme park page or like actively involved and stuff, because I think I went to Thorpe Park that many times I really ruined it for myself. Like people, I'm sort of known now as being a Thorpe Park hater. Anyone asks me like, you're Thorpe Park, I hate Thorpe Park.
Oh, like are you in the same kind of I don't know what the word is, the same kind of typecast as a Thorpe fan, like Jack Silkstone and Dominic Gardner and that kind of thing.
Years ago I used to be in, like obviously like Jack and Dominic, people like that, like they absolutely love the park and they still love going and stuff. And do you know, when I'm there I enjoy it, but like it's nothing like I used to be. I was hardcore every single weekend. Let's go to Thorpe Park, be at Thorpe Park. And if someone asks me like what I prefer over Thorpe and Towers, it's much more Towers. I think I absolutely love Towers. I still get excited to go to Towers. And
do you think people are kidding themselves?
So yeah.
Do you think people are kidding themselves when they? Sometimes I feel like people that live close to Thorpe are kidding themselves because they can go to Thorpe more easier. Because sometimes I think, well, it was a car park before it got built on, and I feel like it hasn't got the atmosphere that Alton Towers.
I always say when people say that I prefer Thorpe, I'm like, how? Like, what is there really to commit? Yeah, they have good coasters and stuff, but like Towers coasters are just as good in my opinion. Because I feel like I'm much more about theme and immersion. I'd much rather like a themed ride than something tallest and fastest. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm much like that. Like, I'd much rather go on 13 than Colossus.
I would say people in the comments as well. Are you more of a theme person?
Oh, we had this before.
Or we have had it from someone's previous blog, but I thought I'd ask our views as well.
We had a show with a lot of guests on, and we voted, do you prefer theming or thrills? And thrills won, and I just thought,
if you want to put theme and if you want to put thrills, just so we know as well in the comments, just to know who's more of a what on that one. But
Theme Parks All Over, what are your thoughts on Project Exodus? Do you know Theme Parks All Over? I get the impression you know him.
Project Exodus, I'm not that as excited as other people are about it. A lot of people are excited. We're getting the tallest and fastest. Like I said, I'm not about that. And I look at it and I think that area, what they're doing with it, they could have done so much more. Like, it's just for like thoughts going, oh, we need to set the record. And I'm really, really against the idea of something being taller than Stealth. I really am. I feel like Stealth is their icon ride. Like, Stealth,
really?
Yeah, I've always thought like when you're on.
I didn't know if Swarm was.
I don't know, when they're approaching the park, you can always see Stealth from wherever angle you're coming at, and I feel like that was like what like people are scared of going on Stealth. Like, it was always in Stealth. And I feel like that's something to be towering above Stealth, and with it being it's a Mac hyper coaster, isn't it? But I feel like I don't know, it's going to make Saw look pathetic, I think, as well. And Saw looks good as it is.
Yeah, which I said like it's quite well known for being quite iconic in like the skyline still.
Yeah, I think there's quite an iconic skyline there.
Took the words right out of my mouth on that one.
Well, I say compared to Towers, in a short area, they've got a better skyline than Towers.
Yeah, 100%. Well, when you're driving past Park and you can look like a long and you can literally see every single ride.
Yeah,
I think it's a beautiful part to look at from the outside, but once you're in there, I think it's beautiful.
I wasn't sure if I've always thought Swarm might be their kind of flagship ride, just because, well, there's going to be slightly one similar at Chessington, but there's not another one in the UK. So I thought that was. I've always thought that.
I can understand why people think like, and a lot of people think Swarm's their favourite coaster, but when it comes to actually, when I look at the park and think like, they're iconic. I don't know. I think Stealth is like the one that everyone's like scared to go on. Like, if you're not enthusiastic, like, everyone's scared of Stealth. Like, everyone knows the word the Stealth ride at Thorpe Park. Do you know what I mean? That's what people always know that. And I just always thought like, no, they can't go taller than the Stealth, because that's just, I always thought, when they build their new ride, we were going to get something like, I don't know, maybe like, everyone thought it was an RMC, didn't they? And I believed it at one point, especially with that area and the theme of the area. But I don't know, I just feel like the length of the coaster doesn't look that long to me. It looks like it's just a long load of loops. Have you ever seen online the Euthanasia coaster?
Yeah, I have.
And that's what it reminds me of. That's
when you did that, and the speed of it just reminded me of G-Force that used to be at Drayton Manor.
Oh, I hate that.
I miss G-Force. I quite liked G-Force. Rough, but I liked it.
Oh no, not for me.
I've walked on the track.
But anyway, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 people that have put in
Theme.
saying that they're up with theme as well. So
Have you had a roll?
so much, guys. It's
Have you had a rollback on stealth?
No.
Probably happened 3 times on past holiday.
Do you know what? I think it was a couple of years ago as well. On opening days, it's like it needs time to warm up or something. They haven't warmed it up enough, and it keeps falling back. But
It's something to do with. I don't know how true this is. I've always heard there's something about the first few launches it does. It takes the average from those to decide what power it's going to give it for the rest of the day.
oh no,
But, I don't know how true.
I do remember years ago they used to give you a T-shirt, didn't they, if you got a rollback?
See, apparently that's not true.
Oh, it's not.
Was it last week we had Thrill Wave on? Yeah.
Thrill Wave, yeah.
We had Thrill Wave on last week.
It was,
and one
yeah.
Ella used to work there, and they did a vlog on Pass Holder Day. That's how we knew about the rollbacks. And they actually said there's no such thing as a shirt. Ella said she worked
One
there.
of them enthusiast lies, isn't it?
I'll agree with.
What's your favourite rumour? Enthusiast rumour?
God. Have you ever heard of the flat ride that's underneath Fantasyland?
No, but you reminded me of the Theme Park Fan musical with the cred underneath Blackpool.
I think that's maybe where it come from. Like when they in the musical, and they but there was like an Intamin or something, or some sort of top spin or top scan underneath. Is it Wooland or something like that in Fantasyland?
Theme Parks all over said he got the rollback.
I did, and I commented on it. I was like, yeah. So yeah.
I'm very jealous when it's got a rollback because I can't imagine what it feels like. I've gone on roller coasters that like launch and go backwards and stuff, but I can't imagine it on stealth.
Do you reckon it's painful when you hit the brakes and you fly forward? No, would you fly
I've
back?
seen it, and it seems like it gives it large chance to actually brake before it hits the station. It seems like it's still got a bit of speed, and then all of a sudden it's like reminds me of rattlesnakes brakes.
Oh, that's the worst brake run in the UK, in my opinion.
Honestly,
whiplash.
That could throw you out a bit. I remember Austin when he was on it with Dean. It must have been like 2 years ago or something. He posted a picture where a part of the actual restraint rubber had come off, and he just had it in his hand.
Did he take it with him?
He broke it hard. He literally. And I think he got off the ride. He was like, I think you might need this.
Oh gosh.
Coaster with the Joneses says their favourite rumour is that Valhalla will eventually open.
I know, it's getting ridiculous now. And what I find really funny, I see on Twitter all the time, is how even Amanda Thompson doesn't know when it's going to open. She owns the bloody park.
What did you think about it was like the press thing, well, the promo photo, those people dressed up as Vikings? What?
Did you not see people zooming in? It was a stock photo that they just like.
Oh, was it?
They didn't even buy it, and it still had like pics. It's like
oh, I had the logo.
It still had the watermark over it. People were zooming in on it and like saying, "How can we expect to have a bloody good ride when you can't even pay for the promotional pictures?"
The only rumor I can think of that I always remember is when not 13, when Smiler was going to open, and everyone thought there was going to be a washing machine element.
Oh yeah, it was going to go.
And if they got beaten for inversions, they'd just make it turn round one more time.
It was like Smiler's own small trommel, but you'd actually be on the trommel.
Yeah.
They get stuck on that.
Yeah, I say definitely. I actually kind of believe the Fantasyland one, that there's a ride down there that only exclusive people can use. Sort of, like in Cinderella's Castle, Magic Kingdom, you have to be a competition winner, and there's a room in there. And
we've seen photos of that.
Yeah, there's photos of that, but there's not photos of the whatever flat ride underneath there. That's
well, you were saying it was a top spin, weren't you?
I want to say it was an Intamin something. I want to say Zack Spin, but I'm pretty sure that's a coaster. I don't think it's a Zack Spin underneath there.
That'd be a lot of money to spend for a secret.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just the only one that always sticks to me.
You sound really into it. I'm intrigued.
When you get a chance, look it up properly. And there's a few bits about it, and I've always looked for pictures and stuff, but I can never find anything to do with it. But apparently, it's under. Have you been to Fantasyland?
No.
No.
It's in an area where they have I can't remember what the area is called, but they have two spinning coasters in there called Winter Sphere and Winter Force, and apparently it's meant to be underneath there. But
could you hear it?
Oh.
No, it was too bloody loud there. You can just hear the spinning coasters screeching around.
We're talking about flat rides that have stayed hidden for a long time. What do you think about Subterra reopening?
I'm excited to do it again because I can't really remember it as much. And what's the reason it actually shut? Was it something to do with like the restraints weren't good enough or something, and people were able just to get out?
I think people just didn't. I just thought it wasn't popular anymore, and they had to pay for actors all year.
Well, I waiting for parts because some of the things didn't work in
I
between.
don't know. I heard that the restraint system wasn't good enough, and people could literally just get out whenever they wanted to mid-ride or something.
Oh wow.
Maybe I'm completely wrong. Don't know against it, but that's what I heard. But
I was more of a fan when it became Project 42. Did you ever do Project 42?
Oh, that was a good maze. That was a good maze. I've now noticed though with the Subterranean, they've got a viewing platform coming for Nemesis via the construction, haven't they?
Yeah, I've heard that's another rumor actually. People were saying you have to pay to use it, but I can't imagine they're charged.
Do you know? It wouldn't surprise me though, Merlin making you pay to use it.
No, but the thing about that is, it's not like riding Enzo, where I will charge you, but unless you're actually on it, you're not going to get the experience. Someone pays once to go up that platform, takes everyone's photos for them, spread them out. No one has to go up there.
I say, would you guys in the comments pay for a platform to take photos?
They're working out viewing platforms on Smiler originally. I've seen the concept art for that.
Oh, were they actually?
Ran out of space.
Oh, NF Attraction thought it was budget cuts for
the actors.
And didn't want to pay for all the actors within the ride.
That sounds more like it with Merlin. It was with budget cuts.
You'd be surprised how much more expensive it is to pay actors than to have the ride running. Saw Alive that ran for 2 years, and then they realised, a lot of money.
Yeah, and then they thought we'd just stick it to Fright Nights, and then now it's sinking around the back of the Saw, isn't it?
It's actually sinking now, is it?
Well, they've moved. Well, apparently it's been sinking for years and years, and I think that's why they deemed it unsafe, and that's why it got taken out of the Fright Nights. Because I thought that would be there for a long time. Because obviously, as long as they've got Saw the Ride, I thought they'd have Saw Alive.
I used to love Saw Live as well, and we went for that little. Was it a press event? I can't remember.
No, it was back when it was Towers Times, I believe. Attraction Source now.
Yeah, and we ended up like taking just looking at the place and having appreciation for the design.
Oh yeah, they showed us around basically.
I think I remember. I think I might have done one of them ones where we did the backstage tour of like Saw and stuff.
Really appreciate things like that. To be fair, like
because there's things you wouldn't even notice when you're on the attraction because it's dark.
Yeah. There was
there's a whole upstairs inside that building as well. Apparently, that you're not allowed to go up.
Yeah, because it used to be like one of those education centres where school trips would go.
Yeah, I think they used it as a restaurant at one point as well. Was it the Thorpe Bell or something?
Yeah, the Thorpe Bell. Yeah, but I didn't plan on talking about rumours again. But when I don't know if we had it on the tour or someone told me about it, but apparently when Saw Alive was first opened, that electric bit. They were going to plan for you to get slightly shocked, but then they weren't allowed to do it. Like very slightly.
Like one of them shock pens you used to have.
Yeah, but like on the fence.
Oh.
And they weren't allowed to do it. They were actually going to.
It would be interesting if they actually decided to do that.
I don't know if people want to ride it. Well, not ride it, but go around it a second time.
This is the only maze where you may actually get hurt.
Well, while we're there, let's put paintballs in the shotgun scene. It goes.
Imagine. I'd like to see a maze with within these typical attractions we go to that they actually put like a bit more of you could actually feel a bit of pain, or you could feel something a bit more than just they're not going to touch you, don't worry. Because there are attractions out that you can go to, and there's have you been to Scare Kingdom by Blackburn before?
No, we've done Scream Fest and Extreme Scream.
Yeah, and it's sort of by Blackburn, and they have a separate attraction you can pay for after. I can't exactly what it's called. I want to say it's called Psychomantium, but I don't know if it is. And
I think I know what you mean. I know Joe from.
And it's meant to be really extreme. They will actually strip you and they force feed you and things like that. It's meant to be quite crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
I would never do it.
Yeah. The Grand National is pain, says coasting with the Joneses.
I don't mind the Grand National.
Hi, Thrillwave as well.
Thrillwave's here.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
We talked about Thrillwave earlier because Chandler bought up. He went to get a shirt for the rollbacks, and we had to tell him. He told us last week that was a big rumor.
Yeah, so that was a rumor.
Didn't get the t-shirt.
It's because actually I never saw one. No one ever posted one. I feel like someone would have had one and posted a picture, but you never saw a picture of one, did you?
I wouldn't have thought, for how often it happens, I don't think they'll bother printing, and then have to print everyone's size.
They'd have to have a stock of 200 or something, wouldn't they, for every season?
There's one day where it just didn't keep working. That'd be a lot of t-shirts.
It'd be maybe the first rollback of the day only could get the t-shirt.
Do you think they should do more mazes that are more, I don't know how to word this, realistic?
Yeah, it's a hard one to say. You don't want to say mazes that they beat you up, do you? But a bit more.
Well, no, not that, but I remember when we did the attraction source thing one year, and the person in charge of the mazes actually went, "We like to make it so they're separate from reality, so people know it's not." And I'm like, "That's not the point, though, is it?"
No, it would be interesting to see if they could do mazes where it is, like you said, a bit more realistic, because you will go into a maze, and like, especially these Merlin ones, it's the same. They won't touch you, blah blah blah, and it's just a walkthrough. But they'd be like, I like to see mazes where you can actually do a bit more and get involved. And, like,
I mean, like where you go on a, like, I don't know, if someone shouts fire halfway through and there's not an actual fire, but they make it look like there is, and you think you're running away from a fire, but it's just part of the maze.
We were like that with what was it, Insomnia? We thought genuinely there was something going off, and there was like,
that's the one that's Screamfest, isn't
it?
Oh yeah, someone got attacked, so they told everyone to get out, and we thought it was part of the maze, so we kept going.
We thought it was a fire alarm because the
Like,
room
attack
we
me.
were in,
Yeah, the room looked like it was on fire. Yeah,
dark on the sides of the walls, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, there's a fire going on!"
You're like, carry on going.
This is so real. And they were like, "No, you need to go walk to the exits now, please." And we were like,
it?
"Oh, okay."
Has the maze ever
it felt
let you
quite
down
real.
when you thought it was something else? And my example before you answer is Studio 13. They said it was going to be a studio tour, and there was going to be a killer, or whatever. I expect us to have an actor with us as the studio guide, and then maybe get attacked halfway through, and us have to escape. But it wasn't anything like that.
I'd just like to mention.
There's been plenty of mazes that have really disappointed me. All of the Walking Dead ones I thought did disappointed me.
What's the ride like?
Have you not been on the ride?
No, we'll
not
go
yet.
this year. We're going to go this year.
No.
When,
I remember, like you said, you sort of like, I'm not going Thorpe ever again. You went for that.
No, I just never felt the need, because we moved up. We live a lot closer to Taunton Towers now, and whenever we think we could get in a car for 2.5 hours to go to Thorpe, or we could get 50 minutes to be at Towers.
And like, I'd rather drive a lot further to get to Towers than go to Thorpe Park.
Yeah,
I much rather would.
We were like that, weren't we? We kept driving most of the time.
But,
we were together for a bit.
We'll have to discuss dates off air, because we're going to
Yes.
go and visit Theme Park James. So we're going to do Jumanji and probably, well, even then, if we're doing another London part, I'll probably do Legoland.
I found out Jumanji, the Chessington, sorry, they have capybaras.
They do. They just buy Toon Blaster, I believe.
Was that not the park where 2 of them died?
Yes, Chessington.
Okay.
Yes, some of them
They've
passed
restocked
away
them again.
unexpectedly. So they have, like, I think there's 3 at the moment that they've got.
That was only about a year ago, wasn't it? I remember seeing something about that.
It was, yeah. I don't know what the cause was, though. I did keep asking loads of people going, what happened to the capybaras? And no one actually mentioned anything. So
it's all on the hush.
Yeah, they're not going to
like
take
the
it too
trained
far,
oak
though.
suddenly and mysteriously died, sort of thing.
That chained oak's still in the car park. It's one of the trees in the car park, the chained oak, from the video.
It's still there.
But the real chained oak's lost most of its chains.
Yeah, I walked up there the other week, actually.
Oh, you went up there?
Yeah, I went out to we had a look at it. I went to go show my girlfriend it, and it's not what it used to be like, or what it's meant to be like, is it?
Not anymore, no.
No, like, and it's very dangerous up there. And I think I nearly slipped about 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
But I would like to stay in the B&B, because I have no idea what it's like.
Oh, the chained oak one?
Yeah, the actual chained oak B&B.
Oh,
That'd be interesting. I'm surprised no one has, or everyone's done a video about it, or someone's never talked about it. Well, I've not heard of
There
it.
must be a vlog on YouTube about it.
I don't know. I've never looked at it. Maybe they might do, but I've never seen anything about it or even know what it looks like inside. It'd be interesting to see if they've got things related to towers and hex and things in there.
Yeah.
Ben and Holly say Chesterton have had a terrible start to the season ride availability. Have you been to Chesterton yet? This season?
I haven't, but I have seen like how bad, like they literally had nothing open on the past holiday I saw. Like they didn't had any coasters open. I don't think Croc Drop was open. I don't think anything was really open. I think it was literally just some of the little rides, and that was it.
Well, I will give credit though. This was quite a while ago now, but I will give credit to Thorpe Park for customer services, because when I went to Studio 13, which was my first ever scare maze with Mike, when we were first going out, there was one guy that had like a chainsaw and he kind of lunged forward. And they say the actors don't touch you, and he actually stepped on my foot.
And he injured you, yeah.
And he did put his whole foot on me. And then it was only the past couple of days I was like, oh, my foot feels really weird, but I still carried on the day. And then the next day my foot was swelled and badly bruised, but I
bruised
took a photo of it. Yeah, I took a photo of it, and I was like, I have to have a day off work because I can't walk. And then obviously we emailed them and they dealt with it there and then, and it was lovely. So, well, not there and then, but immediately after we emailed, they emailed back. So yeah, credit to him on that one. So you say the actors can't touch you, but if you've got big,
I'm
feet,
sure they're allowed to touch you now. Anyway,
I've been punched in the face before. I think it was in Walking Dead Do and Die. It was actually someone I knew acting, but he actually clipped me proper in the nose, and I was literally like, I think I'm going to bleed any second now, because he was like,
should have fallen to the
you know,
floor.
do that.
Oh yeah,
And they do that in your face, and I think he got him. He probably stopped me, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, you should have just fallen to the floor.
You should have just fallen to the floor. And then later emailed them. I said, "Where's my free annual pass or something?"
I don't know if you want to talk, because it was in the video. Do you want to talk about Blackpool Pleasure Beach, or is that another park you're not a fan of?
I don't know. It depends who's watching, because I think a lot of my opinions will get me cancelled in the community. I don't like Blackpool. Like, I'll go there, and I used to like going there for the social and everything and stuff like that. But like in terms of like Blackpool, no. Yeah. If someone said to me, "You can never go back to Blackpool again," I wouldn't be bothered.
You're not a fan of Pleasure Beach, then?
Not really, and everybody loves Icon. I don't like Icon. I don't understand the hype around Pleasure Beach and like I understand maybe the history, and people love the history. And I know some people have like personal attachments to rides and parks, but if someone says to me, "Don't go to Blackpool again," I'd be like, "Yeah, that's fine."
What about the big one?
I don't understand the hype about it. I get more joy going for a drive in my car. And that's like me just trying to sound dramatic. It's genuinely true. Like, what was I say? My favourite ride, and I've never done Valhalla either, so I feel like I have to go back.
Not done Valhalla.
Never did the original Valhalla.
Oh, it's going to be bad if it's worse than it used to be, because you will never experience the original.
I'll have to do a Blackpool Pleasure Beach run up one day, because I want to go back for the nostalgia part. But yeah, it was quite a while ago.
Yeah,
I can't believe it's not done Valhalla.
I just feel like Blackpool is one of those parks that, like, it just deteriorates. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't.
I think it settles for the fans it's got, and just.
Yeah, exactly. There's people who love it and adore it, and you can't say a bad word about it, like there is with every park.
You say that. I had an episode last year of this show, and I was like, right, we'll do an episode about Blackpool. And I was asking all the actual people that do fan sites about Blackpool. No one wanted to come on. Really? I was like, what does that say about Blackpool? I don't want to badmouth them, but I was like, I found 2 people I knew in the end, but all the people that ran sites were like, no, we don't do that kind of thing, or we don't want to come. I'm like, that makes Blackpool Pleasure Beach look bad if you don't want to come on and defend it.
Because I can imagine that as soon as they say anything bad, they will have some sort of like email from Blackpool saying something. But I think it's bad. Like, how can the actual park managing director be tweeting that she doesn't know what's going on? Like, they're tweeting something about Valhalla, and she'd be like, "Oh, I hope so." So how does she not know or have any idea?
She was trying to be funny. Not that it was.
There's just a lot of things. Well, if you look through her tweets, she acts like she's not in the know. She doesn't know what's going on. It's sort of like I don't know if she does so people don't point the blame at her.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But whether she does know or she doesn't know, but I don't think it's a good look. Like, can you imagine like the likes of at the time? I don't know who's in charge now, but like if Nick Varney or like Francis, who used to be doing Electric Towers, like if there were people like tweeting them and they're using their personal account saying, "I don't bloody know." It wouldn't look good, would it?
Could you imagine John Wardley doing that?
Exactly.
Not the curse.
Literally, like, "Oh, when's it gonna be ready?" I don't know. Like that's literally what her attitude is. I don't know if she's trying to be funny or not, but I don't think she's in a position to be funny about things. If you're a managing director, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You sort of got to be serious. You'll sort of know what's going on in your own park.
Yeah.
But God knows, I don't know. I've never been taken to Blackpool that much, but I have to go back to try Valhalla because, like, I can't say I've never been on it in any form.
Did you want to mention that?
There's just to quickly go back a little bit about the actors doing things to you. NF Attractions put the darkest steps last year. An actor ran behind him and kicked the back of his leg, almost went flying. So I hope you're okay now.
Turn into
just to let you know, I hope it's okay. I hope you're okay now, obviously. But
yeah, this is a safe space if you want to talk about your actor abuse. Come talk about your actor abuse.
What we'll do, we'll all go to Darkest Depths entrance if it opens this Halloween, and we'll all get bouquets of flowers. And we'll put for NF Attractions who got kicked in the leg here.
Just lay outside. I think we should do every single attraction that someone's been hurt on. We go lay flowers outside of.
Oh, what we haven't talked about actually, since we're talking about, like Blackpool and things like that. What's your opinion on the Retro Squad?
Do you know what? The first year I thought, okay, cool, something different. We've never seen anything like this before, but it is dragging now. And I've got a few friends who have like quite close connections to the park and management and stuff, and they told me that they rent out for £500 a day each. So we're talking £2,000 a day. And we worked out over the course of the 3 years that they would have been operating to the end of the season, they could have bought like 3 brand new spanking flats and themed them and kept them there. And that's a lot of money. I think it worked out
doesn't look good either.
No, they don't look good. They don't look good. At first year, I thought, oh, like it's better than nothing, and it'll be interesting to sort of do. And I quite enjoyed. I think it was Mixtape was the first year, and then they had Spin Jam. I've liked the one they've always had in X Sector by Oblivion. I've always loved that.
Mixtape the Waltzer.
I liked the Waltzer, but it was a more modern one, so it was quite controlled. So you didn't get the spins that you'd always want to.
I liked it, and they got rid of it this year.
I love the Waltzer. I am a huge fan of the Waltzer. So. And I think a lot of people didn't get rid of it, but
I've never actually been on a actual like traditional waltzer before.
Oh my gosh!
I've heard they're pretty crazy when the showman will get on there and they physically spin you.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'd love to see the stuff in that towers.
There is the one that my first ever one I went to was one at Mablethorpe at the seafront with my brother, and it was just so liberating.
I remember once I was on the roller disco at Towers, and I was with my friend Michael and Lucy, and we must have just got a lucky run, but it was literally the point where like I thought my eyes were going to pop out. We kept going the whole time, and I was actually like I was physically screaming because I just didn't know what else to do. I needed to react to what was going on.
Right, Valhalla's going to open for technical rehearsals.
I did see that.
On the 12th of April. And
good to know. Thank you.
On the 13th of April, it's scheduled to have technical difficulties, so you want to get there on the 12th.
That's literally what's going to happen.
I agree with Truck and Taylor's. Fairground rides have no business in a theme park. That's what I thought.
Business in a theme park.
That's what I mean. It does. For Towers meant to be the premier park of the whole country. It's not.
Yeah.
You can't imagine like the likes of like I don't know. We're going to America like Universal bringing in temporary rides. Do you know what I mean?
Can you imagine someone coming from the States to Towers being told it's the best theme park in the UK?
Literally, and they rock up.
You walk into X Sector. What's that?
I know, and they haven't even like they could have at least tried to theme it to the area, like made them like black and orange and yellow, but they didn't, did they? They've just stuck it there, and they're playing all this 80s music and stuff. I think that's a really lazy way of doing it. But yeah, I really hope this is last year, and I hope that they do invest in something. But it doesn't annoy me all the money they've spent on these renting these rides that they could have literally built some really cool things we could have had by this season potentially. We're talking nearly £1 million they've spent on rent.
I know a lot of vloggers that don't like the fact there's a load of copyright music on these rides when they're filming them.
They're trying to film them, and then it's got all the 80s music. I think it loops the same 4 songs all day.
Yeah, it's I can't remember which ride it was, but the first season they did it a few years ago. I think it was the Waltzers, I can't remember, but someone told me they were using someone's Spotify and the adverts come on.
They didn't even pay for premium. Oh, that just sounds so typical, though, doesn't it? But then apparently I don't know if this is true. I think this is what I got told, that the actual operators and the things are the actual showmen. It's not tower staff who operate the retro.
Yeah. It's apparently it's staff owned by whatever I don't know what the company's called now.
Yeah, it's not tower staff. They've just got Towers uniform on, but they actually work for the showman company or whoever owns the rides.
Oh, I don't know which company is that.
I don't know what company, but I know what he means. I've heard the same thing.
NF Attractions just put that he didn't like the waltzer at Towers. Fair trade service waltzers aren't the best. Prefer the classic Maxwell ones. See, I always think that the seats in the waltzer remind me of the one that we went to in Yarmouth, like the whipping ride.
Oh, is that where they go slow and then so just whips around a corner?
Yeah, and they whip round. That's what they remind me of, those waltzer things that you sit in. So the seating area. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I just. But yeah, that's what they remind me of. But I don't know if I'll have a look at what Maxwell means, because I'm quite intrigued about like the old style sort of stuff, because I miss the steam fair.
Closest with the Joneses. You should never have to hear the louder you scream, the faster the ride at a theme park. Well, I don't see the point in them putting that, because if you don't scream, they're still going to go faster.
They're still on one thing. They press that one button and the cycle starts itself, doesn't it? They're not doing anything.
Yeah, showman staff operate the rides. I thought they did.
Does that mean they do the Flavio's Fandango one as well?
No, that'll be tower staff.
That one, no, but seriously, that one day I went with my friends, we screamed and it got faster, and it's not been fast ever since.
That's not considered part of the retro squad, is it?
No, it's their own sizzler, isn't it?
But they do rent it. I think they do rent it as well, though. Yeah. It's like it's from the company, but they're not including it into it, and they've made it more permanent than the rest.
Yeah, because they've themed that into the ground, haven't they?
Yeah, they've put their purple fences around it.
Yeah, which I thought was part of that group anyway. But
have you got any opinions on Project Horizon?
I don't know much about it. And I was the first, like when they first came out, I was first to learn of this coaster corner. I never heard of it before, and what it actually was. But I'm assuming we're just going to get something that's just an indoor coaster, because everyone's saying it's going to be SW9, aren't they? We're not, but I've looked at the building and I've saw the plans, and it doesn't look that big.
No, and there's meant to be a trough in the plan, so people are going, it's a water ride, which it might well be.
Be interesting.
But I don't know if it's going to be an SW if it's nothing special about it.
No, it'd be interesting to see what they used to be every 3 years, the SWs, didn't they? And then, well, we're now 5 years down the line and just don't have one. But I know obviously COVID had changed a lot and stuff, but be interesting to see what they actually do with that. But I'm none the wiser about that one. There's a lot of projects I don't like to look in too much, because I do like being surprised, especially with dark ride ones where you don't know what's coming. So like when it comes up with things like Exodus, you know what's coming, you can see it physically in front of you. But when you don't know what's coming, I don't like to, like, I tried so hard not to look at anything to do with the curse, even when the images come out. But in this community, it's impossible because everyone likes to repost everything every 2 seconds.
do you think it might be like a kid's sort of ride if it's not very big? Like,
Oh no,
I'm speculating here.
It'll be at least a family ride, I would have thought.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking.
Well, look
like,
at the way they
it's
marketed
larger.
13 and what we got. That's they can market something crazy, and then when you look at 13, I love 13. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love 13. But like they made it look, it was going to be like a lot scarier than it actually was.
It doesn't like to operate very often anymore.
No, I swear you was a big fan of 13 back in the day.
I was, till Wicker Man opened. That was my favourite.
Is Wicker Man reclaimed that place?
Oh yeah, Wicker Man claimed that when it opened, because we finally got.
I love Wicker Man. I've actually got a Wicker Man tattoo. I absolutely love Wicker Man.
Multi-dimensional coaster.
Cool.
I don't think that's going to go in Coaster Corner. I could be wrong.
Multi-dimensional coaster, maybe an Intamin.
What do you think? Multi-dimensional coaster at Towers?
Honestly, I have no idea. It's just the size of it. I can't fathom what they're going to do with that size. It'd be interesting.
Unless we have an indoor water ride to make up for the log flume.
Yeah, Towers. I'm surprised we haven't got any. Well, then again, Thorpe doesn't have a log flume anymore, does it?
It's got Tidal Wave.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be like a little log flume. At the same time,
it'd be interesting to see if it comes outside the building as well.
Yeah.
Sort of like how Tron, of the new Tron ride at Kingdom does. It has an outdoor section, doesn't it? If they can utilize outside space, then it might be a bit something different. But who knows? I don't think we've got.
Apparently, the footprint is the same as the Smiler.
Oh.
Then I'll shut up.
I didn't know that.
No.
So if it is
Indoor
the same
coaster.
That coaster with the Joneses.
Enough attractions. It says in the documents it's an indoor coaster, and the water out the building has no connection to the building.
Seems to help reduce.
That could be true, but if they've said that, they could be saying that to knock you off the trail. It's a similar size to the Uncharted coaster at Port Ventura.
Okay. So then we might be getting something half decent then. It depends because with a building you can literally have your whole station, the whole queue line underneath, and you ride above, so you can still utilize the space. You don't have to use all the space. And I did see I had quite a bit of a big queue line outside actually. But I actually don't know where this building is. Is it behind like with Fandango riders?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to move Flavio's when it opens to get access, or whether they're just going to get rid of the dungeons a bit, because the dungeons, that served its time, isn't it?
Yeah, that was just a filler, wasn't it?
But to be fair, when he's saying about to help reduce flooding and attractions, maybe it's to do with the filtration of the water, in the Alton Towers ride as well. That bit of water, maybe.
Maybe. I'm thinking about when Smiler flooded, because they didn't realise they had no
stop the algae
drainage
in where you queue. And
it only used to rain for 10 minutes before you're walking in puddles down there.
What do you think about the Nemesis retrack then?
I'm excited for it. Although I did see somewhere about it. They changed the name to like Nemesis Reborn or something.
Yeah, they've copyrighted that. But...
They copyrighted the name. I hope they're using that just for promotional material. But I hope it doesn't actually change its name. I feel like this one then Rise, you can't mess around with too much, or people will still get upset.
I still think they could name it Nemesis Respawned. Just because it's got that.
I feel like if you put Reborn or Respawn, after a couple of years when it's come back again, people will be like, well, it's not Re anymore, is it? It's been about.
Or Resurrected. It's just because we're near Easter.
But,
Oh, they're cutting down trees between Dungeons and Walliams to get to Project Horizon.
Oh yeah, I can imagine they have got quite a bit of access behind it because Towers is a huge place, and there's probably loads of like roads and access we have no idea exist underneath the trees if you're looking on Google Maps or something.
12 million is the budget, apparently.
Oh, thank you, NF Attractions, for all this information. This is quite cool.
They've got all
And
the
theme parks all over.
And Coastal with the
Well,
Joneses.
12
And
million.
Coastal with the Joneses.
Is that a lot then? Because it's not really. Because you think back in 2006, Stealth cost 12 million. And
Yeah, but didn't Wickerman and or Smiler cost 18?
Yeah, Wickerman.
Milo was 18. I'm not sure about Wickerman.
I think Wickerman was more. Because everyone thought Wickerman was 18. And then I found out what it was because we did it on the quiz.
Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we?
And I was doing high. It was a round where you had to go higher or lower.
I'm
with
just
the-
thinking,
Right. Am I
Right.
being stupid? Is the building already there?
I don't know if it is that
Oh, Wickerman
very
was
building or they're
16.
building a new one.
Yeah, but is there a building there at the moment? Because if there's a building there, that could save a bit of money.
Not much money though, because it's like sheet metal building, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, I knew
Once
there was
it's
a building
already
there,
there,
whether it was built or not. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Have you
When's
got
that, is that due for 2024, 2025?
new building says Coasting with the
I don't
Joneses.
want to say because I'm not sure myself. Actually, I've been keeping out of the loop on.
That's what I mean.
Project
I see things on Twitter, like things I'm forced to see, but I don't really go out my way to look at things.
You're forced to
I'm more-
see. Look
I'm
at
more
Project
more-
Horizon.
literally. I'm interested. I'm more interested in that than I am Exodus. I just feel like I don't
Well,
know.
Coasting with the Joneses,
I think everything that Thorpe does, I just feel like I have to slag off, even if I do like it.
Coasting with the
like
Joneses.
Blackpool.
Coasting with the Joneses put 2025.
2025.
So thank you.
Ah,
And theme
okay.
parks
I
all
hope
over.
so. I feel like 2024 is a bit too close and nothing's started it. So
Did you want to quickly tell us before we wrap up about? Have you got any comments on Colossus's retrack? Because that came out of nowhere.
yeah, well, let me get a random picture one day of it just like disappeared out of.
Oh, the
And
track
it
was
makes me
cool.
wonder, like we're well into the season now, and they still haven't even like attempted. It seems like no work's going on there. Like they're not putting anything back. So I wonder if they could have just done what they've done with Nemesis and just closed it for a year and just redone the whole thing.
They could do.
Because I do
It's-
think,
A little competition between the two. That would be interesting, wouldn't
well,
it?
they're retracking that bit, and that bit is probably the most smoothest part of the ride. Yeah, it's the most uncomfortable, but it's probably the most smoothest part.
Yeah, but Thorpe don't like comfortable rides, do they?
No, they don't. We'll look at Saw now. That's aged terribly.
Have you got any stuff you want to plug before we wrap this up?
Just if you've not heard of me before, go subscribe because I'm going to be putting the stuff out. But
It's all in the description.
yeah, follow that description. Yeah, but yes, that's it really. I don't want to promote too much yet because I'm still in how I want to present these vlogs because I feel like my vlog style before, like I liked how it was snappy, quick, and things like that. I also want to bring a bit of sort of storyline to it as well. So I'm still trying to work.
You could do different vlogs for different things.
Yeah, so I'm just, because I don't want to be like too different on everything because I still want to keep continuity of like what I'm known for, but I also don't want to keep it too different as well. So I don't know. I'm sort of like trying to work how I want it. So I'm sort of just like I'm started the first vlog at the moment. I'm sort of just like trying to flow with it, and if I like it or not, and then see how people react to that one, then I'll go from there. But it will be similar to what I had before, but I want new stuff as well.
Bit more.
So just watch the space in that sense.
And while I'm here, I'm just going to plug. I've got a few other things to plug. We've got some stuff for what to watch this week. So I just want to plug. The Trek and Taylors have got their Alton Manor vlog on their channel, premiering at 8 p.m. So we'll be over there in a bit. And then at 2 p.m. tomorrow, we've got Knox Survives doing his live from Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach. And like Disneyland, he can take his camera on all the rides.
So want to watch
So
that.
I'm going to be watching that tomorrow.
As well as Trek and Taylors in a bit as well.
Yeah, I'm going to be on Trek and Taylors live chat in a bit. You can if anyone's going there, I'll be in the live chat. And also, Ben and Holly's Theme Park Adventures Warwick Castle vlog is up with the Trebuchet.
The Trebuchet!
After it set fire to the boathouse many years ago, it's back. And
Sorry.
also, if anyone wants free stuff, Hush Hush Family, if you subscribe to them, you're going to be automatically put in the draw for some free merch.
Oh,
That's quite smart, that stuff, actually.
It's
That's
really
smart,
nice.
yeah.
They're really
So,
nice people.
all these links in the description. I've linked the vlogs rather than the channels for everyone. And next week, we've got the mediocre travel vlog, or I call them anything but mediocre.
Oh my gosh! I'm so
They're
excited.
coming on.
I'm so excited when everyone comes on our show. Sorry, I'm just so upset.
And we'll probably have Chandler back in the future because
Yeah, definitely.
Luke Farmer just literally messaged me and he only just see our messages. So he's going to want to come on, I reckon, with you.
Maybe me and Luke should do a joint show next time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be down to do that 100%.
Cool.
100%. I've loved it. I definitely want to do this. I want to make this a regular thing. I love it.
Oh, you come on.
You're always welcome.
There's another, well, don't want to say anything, but there's another person we've had on in the past who's talked about coming on once a month as a regular thing, so it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but we've got
a regular guest. I think that'd be a good thing for you.
But we've got to go because checking Taylor's things going out now.
Thank you for everyone watching.
Watch that.
Thank you for watching, and
thank you everyone for mentioning things in the comments.
I don't think Chandler will know because we had 10 years where we didn't really know each other that well. But do you know what a catchphrase is?
I don't.
Every week we ask and the guest never knows. We have a catchphrase at the end.
One of these days. So we'll see you.
Also, we'll see NF Attractions because Theme Park Sanity have got a live on Sunday night at 8 p.m. Go watch that as well.
Yes.
That's all the stuff I'm plugging. It's done.
There you go. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to press that like and subscribe to these lovely people that we all see and plug in. So we'll see you
in the rear view.
Because for now,
we're going.